Hello, this is David, Fairly Secret Music. So this video, um, you might see two other videos fairly close, and I might put up two or three in one day, which is like kind of unprecedented. But I'm in a superpower metal mood, as you know from the Brainstorms and Avantasia new release video that I just did. Or maybe you're watching this one first, then you'll already know. So I'm going to go over four different bands that I've gotten recently. Uh, First band here is Majestica. It has Chris David and Tommy Johansson. Um, there's also Joe Kolberg and Peter Zierp, I believe is the way you pronounce those. On this, they had different players, but Tommy Johansson and Chris Davidson were on both of these. Um, if you want to hear some of the best vocals in power metal, well, first of all, how I got introduced to these guys is I accidentally ran across a cover of a Gary Moore song that they did. Um, I think it's called End of the World. And I've always been a huge Gary Moore fan since like 84, 85 or something like that. Um, and that song is amazing. I believe Jack Bruce originally sang it. But these guys do trade off lead vocals, and some of the stuff they are doing is just fantastic vocally. And they bring it back over to their main project, and they don't disappoint. So this is their first one, and this is their third one. Their third on this one, listen to Above the Sky, because it'll give you a good idea of what this band is all about. Sorry. And then their new one, the what is it called? Power Train. So their second album is a like a Christmas Carol type air. I think it's the Christmas Carol, and they do the whole thing as a concept album, which is kind of cheesy at times. But I have not purchased that. I don't. I haven't found it. I probably won't get it unless I'm feeling very Christmassy at the time. But this one just came out like 3 weeks ago or something like that, along with the new Labyrinth, which I also got. Don't have it right here. So these were kind of extra additions to this video because the main band that I was going to show you is Iron Savior, who are, again, a power metal band. They are from Germany. Originally, it had Kai Hansen from Halloween, and I can't remember the guy's name. As you know, I'm horrible with names. Let's find out what his name is. The bass player, who I believe switched to guitar, Piet Sielck, Pietsilck. So I am apologizing in advance if I screwed up your name. He has been in the band since day one. I believe he played bass on their first ones, and then he switched to guitar. But he's always done the vocals. He has a very voice that's very reminiscent of, in my opinion, of Hansi from Blind Guardian, who Hansi, I believe, always sounds like the power metal version of Blackie Lawless with vocal training. Although Blackie Lawless has really good control over his voice, and I think he's really good. But imagine Blackie Lawless with power metal vocal training. So I'm just going to show you these in the order that I picked them up at, and kind of give you a little history of me and the band. So I've had I've had Kill or Get Killed and Skycrest for a number of years. I would say about 2 or 3 years, when I had my last really big power metal phase. And I could have got The Landing, but that one didn't like grab me at the time as much as these two. I haven't listened to these two again since probably 2022 or 2023. Um, but that is about to change soon. Um, a friend had a friend who used to have a distro called CD in Zane, and he had the leftover of his stuff. If you look at my um, previous video or video in the future, I don't know what order I'm going to put these out in, um, of Orphan Land, that was another thing that I got. But this I got for $5. It is 2 discs live plus a DVD. It's called Live at the Final Frontier. I'll let you see all this funness. Of course, there's this, what are they called? AFM advertisement. I don't think this has a booklet, though. I think all this information is right there for you. But I thought, okay, I'm going to get this because I already have those other two. And I got that, and I was just like, shit, I wonder how much the 6-disc box set is going for on Laser CD. Now, I've been told that the band asked people not to buy this because they're not getting any money for it. But those first 6 discs, and what this comes with is Iron Savior, Interlude, Unification, Dark Assault, Condition Red, and Battering Ram. And some of these have bonus tracks on them. So it's those albums on... sorry, I'm going to put something over this metal table over here because it keeps on vibrating. And so Noise Records is the original label that they were on. And I tried to look for each album individually. I was going to get it that way, but $27 for the 6-disc box set was just too good of a price. So after I bought this, which is called Iron Savior Riding on Fire, the Noise Years 97 to 2004, and I'll give you a little bit of a... So this is one of those clamshells that open up like that. The artwork isn't that great because it'll do front and back. They're in stupid things like this. So you get Iron Savior, Interlude, what's this one called? Unification. So they started as a 3-piece, then they got to a 5-piece. I don't believe Kai Hansen is... Oh, he might be. That might be Kai Hansen. Dark Assault, Condition Red, and Battering Ram. And then you get this booklet, which kind of gives you a history of the band. Apparently, Pete or Pyatt, or however you pronounce it, was working with Kai during his early Gamma Ray days, and then he asked him if he would like to do this project. So, if I do find their albums individually, I will probably get those also. But, because it does disappoint me that Noise is not giving them any money for this. But, like I said, Laser CD had it for $27. If you see this and order it, tell Ken that David at Fairly Secret Music sent you. But because I bought the other ones, I decided to go head first into all the rest, which I bought brand new, the last 5 CDs. So you get Metropolis 2.0, which is parts of it are re-recorded. They added vocals because apparently he didn't really like the original one because it had a lot less vocals going on it. So these are in kind of no order because I just bought all 5 of these on Tuesday. Rise of the Hero. The Landing. Titancraft. I will say this about Digipacks. Even though Digipacks are somewhat less desirable, they do make filming a lot easier because you don't get a lot of glare. And their very last one, which I have listened to the whole thing of, and I do not regret getting their whole discography now. Firestar. So that's Iron Savior. Now let's get into the band that I didn't think I was ever going to get into. And that is Edguy. Honestly, this was like the Jeff Tate. Oh, I got a cat crying. This was like the Jeff Tate, Michael Kiske, and who else did I think he sounded kind of like? I don't know. The project with those singers that I didn't know I needed. This is Tobias Samets. Am I getting his name right? I don't even know. Tobias Samets. Sammet. But so I picked up Avantasia because I liked the fact that he had Bob Catley on vocals, Jeff Tate, a few other people, Rob Rock. And I started looking into Edguy because I thought, well, if that's good, if Avantasia is good, then Edguy probably is good because he's the same vocalist. And I heard the song Tears of the Mandrake and I was hooked because it's like Jeff Tate and Kiske and some other guy, I can't remember, all rolled into one. And the vocal melodies are amazing. And so I thought, oh shit, I've never seen that at any of the stores, so I'm gonna have to order it. And then it was kind of like, it's out of print again. And then I went back to the store that had Avantasias for the last 4 Avantasia albums, and I looked, and they had Tears of the Mandrake, or Mandrake, as it were. I'm not going to show you all the artwork of these. So I've been getting these anniversary editions just because they were easier to get. I got a lot from Rare Waves. Got a couple from the store that I work at. The second one I got was The Savage Poetry, which is technically their first album, but it didn't get really put out until, in this version, until like their before or after their 3rd or 4th album. So this is an order that I purchased these in. Then we had Space Police, which is one of the worst album covers I've ever seen. Look at that. It's just horrible. I don't get it. And you know, this is kind of like a drop in quality a little bit. It isn't quite as good as some of the middle period stuff. Just like I've always said, I take my time getting into albums and listening to them. So I don't know the ins and outs of these. I will point out specific songs if I've really kind of attached to them. The next 2, the Hellfire Club and Age of the Joker. I got both of these through eBay. and paid way too much for both of them because then I did an order through Nuclear Blast, I believe it was, and they had these for like $4, and I paid like 13 or 14 or whatever, maybe even 18, because I wasn't finding them anywhere. And luckily, I found some other stuff. I did a Rare Waves order, Kingdom of Madness. That one, actually, I think this one came around the same time as Rocket Ride. Rocket Ride, look at this CD case. I got this used. It is freaking yellow. That's so gross. So gross. I gotta swap it out with another CD case. So I'm gonna kind of keep that out and about. So Rocket Ride has the song Save Me. And Save Me is almost like if a power metal band decided they wanted to do like an AOR song. It's just fantastic. Vainglory Opera, is that what it's called? Yeah. So I listened to this yesterday. This is the one album that I think so far is kind of weak by them. The vocals were pretty good. They just didn't have as good of a quality as like Tears of the Mandrake. And then what is this? Theater of Salvation. So this is cool because it has a bonus disc. I would highly recommend getting the anniversary versions of these if you can. They're really well done. So what are the 4 CDs that I got that fateful day, and why did I decide to get Avantasia? This one alone, The Mystery of Time. And I will be absolutely, completely honest. Part of it was because I love Rodney Matthews' artwork so much, and I love his little goblins that he draws. And they're on a ton of stuff that he does. Look at that artwork. Look at that. That is fantastic. So I saw this one or maybe another one used at one point, and I thought, what the heck is this? And I usually avoid things like Arion or any of those kind of projects because I don't really like the singers that they choose, but he's got Jolyn Turner, Biff Bifford, Michael Kiske, Cloudy Yang, Ronnie Atkins, Eric Martin, and Bob Catley, all on the same album with Bruce Kulick and Sasha Spaeth, Arjun Lucassen. So there's a funny Arion connection, and just a bunch of other people doing the music. But Tobias plays lead vocals and bass on all of these. He started out as the bass player and vocalist of Edguy too, so just so you know. But I'm a big fan of Magma too, so it's pretty awesome that they started using Rodney Matthews covers. Let's see, what am I going to show you here? I'll just show you each of them and tell you what fun vocalists. So this one is called Narratives of the Misplaced Entity. So this one actually has Hansi, Millie Petroza, which I believe is the guy from Creator, Eric Martin. Oh, and by the way, there's a song on here called What's Left of Me. That is just like a AOR powerhouse song. It's fantastic. Eric Martin, Ronnie Atkins, Candace Knight, Bob Catley again, Jorn Land, which I have to check out Jorn stuff. Jeff Tate, Michael Kiske. I'm going to just show you these really quick because this is getting really long. Sorry, Moon... Paranormal Evening of the Moonflower Society. And this one is going to be harder for me because I have to look at this. This also has Tobias, Ronnie, Bob, Floor Jansen this time, Michael Kiske, Jorn again, Eric Martin, Ralph Sheepers from Primal Scream, and Jeff Tate. So that is pretty awesome. You'll forgive me if I take a little bit of time to put my booklets back in their cases because it is gross having them out. This is Ghostlight, and this one has Jorn, Ronnie, Robert Mason from Lynch Mob, and God, was that Cry of Love? D. Snyder. That's one that I'm just not. I really don't like D. Snyder as a person after watching the Twisted Sister video. Jeff Tate, Michael Kiske, Herbie Langans, Sharon Den Adel, Marco Hayetla. I think he's the guy who used to be in Nightwish. Bob Catley again, Sasha Spaeth. Oh, then it shows all the musicians. Sasha, Oliver Hartman on, I believe, guitar. Bruce Kulick, Michael Rodenberg, Felix Bonke, and Cloudy Yang again. Let's see if we are able to wrap this up before 30 minutes passes. So those are the first four that I got. Then I got in the mail The Scarecrow. And apparently The Scarecrow is a 3-part trilogy with Scarecrow, Angels of Babylon, and Wicked Symphony. So this has Tobias on lead vocals and bass, Sasha on rhythm guitar and lead guitars, and Eric Singer from Kiss, Badlands, everybody else in the world. Bob Catley, Alice Cooper, Oliver Hartman, Roy Kahn, Michael Kiske, Jorn Land, and Amanda Somerville. There are additional lead guitars by Kai Hansel and Rudolf Schenker and Henjo Richer. Some of these names I've never seen before, so I'm probably butchering them. We'll get you out of here in less than 30 minutes. Here we have, again, the Angels of Babylon. Has basically the same lineup of people. There are more guitarists and stuff like that. Very similar. Tobias, Jorn, Russell, Allen. Here's a new one. He's from... Where is he from? Didn't he sing an Adrenaline Mob? John Olivia from Sanctuary. Michael Kiske, Cloudy Yang, Bob Catley, and Oliver Hartman. And the final is Wicked Symphony. And this has Tobias, Russell Allen, Jorn Land, Michael Kiske, Tim Ripper Owens, another singer that I'm not really too excited about. But it has the Scorps, Klaus Meine. Oh, yeah, you gotta have a Scorps guy in there, right? Eh? Andre Matos, Bob Catley, Ralph Zdarsek. I don't know how. Zdiarsetk. And if you're watching this, you should be watching it in double time because I am much more entertaining in double time. And by the way, when I talk about Scorps in that voice, that is true love because I do love myself some Scorps. And the last three that just came today, the Platinum Edition of Metal Opera 1 and Metal Opera 2. And so these were the first two that came out. Let me throw a booklet up here. And I'll let you know who sang on these. Ernie Just says Ernie. Kai Hansen, David DeFius, who I believe is from Virgin Steel, Andre Matos, Oliver Hartman, Sharon Den Adele, Bob Rock from Project Driver and Impellitteri, Ralph Zadarstek, and Timo Tolke. That name sounds familiar. I just got these, remember. So, um, 2 more to go. And then you are free to turn this off. The last metal opera has Michael Kiske, Kai Hansen, David from Virgin Steel again, Andre Matros, Bob Catley, Oliver Hartman, Sharon Den Adele, Bob Rock again, and Ralph again. So, and then last but not least, the album that technically comes out Friday is Here Be Dragons, which is awesome. I love this artwork. I showed it in the new release video that I just did. And on here, he will, instead of putting the name of the character these people play, he'll put the name of the singer. So you know who's singing what section, which is really nice. I wish you would have done that on a lot of the other ones. So you got, well, you know what? On this one, I'm going to just let you see who the vocalists are. Right? So, Arnie, let's see, vocalists. Adrian Cowan, Herbie Langans, Chiara Tricarico, Ronnie Atkins, Bob Catley, Tommy Karevic from Camelot, Roy Kahn, also formerly of Camelot, Michael Kiske, Kenny Lacremo, and none other than Jeff Tate. So there you are. Avantasia, Edguy, Iron Savior, and Majestica. 4 power metal bands that, by God, you should check out. 27 minutes and 28 seconds. Bye.